Here's the truth. Most therapists can be covered abroad. The key is knowing what your policy actually says. Hi, I'm Dr. Annie, a licensed psychologist and a digital nomad therapist. Today, we're taking the fear out of one of the biggest legal questions that therapists have when it comes to working from abroad: malpractice insurance. Making sure your malpractice insurance will cover you if you're living abroad while seeing US-based clients is so important, because if anything ever happens and some type of claim is filed against you, or some kind of past client or whatever tries to sue you, and your policy doesn't cover you while you're living abroad, then you will not be covered for your legal defense or anything when it comes to responding to the claim or defending yourself. And so not checking to make sure your malpractice insurance covers you could be an extremely costly mistake. Now, some people might assume that malpractice insurance just across the board will not cover you if you're outside the United States, but that's just not true. Some malpractice insurances will cover you while living abroad and some won't. And so the most important thing for you to do is call your current malpractice insurance. You can either call them or send them an email asking them what their policies are around you physically being located outside the United States. Now, there are three main questions you're going to want to ask when reaching out to your malpractice insurance. A quick disclaimer is that I am not a lawyer and I'm definitely not your lawyer. And so if you have any concerns or questions around your malpractice insurance or any type of legal question, make sure to reach out and consult with a lawyer. Now, the first question you're going to want to ask is, will my policy cover me if I am physically living outside the United States while providing telehealth to US-based clients? You just want to make sure your malpractice insurance doesn't have any issue with you being physically located outside the United States while providing services to the clients within the United States. The second question you're going to want to ask is, does my coverage change if I am living abroad for an extended period of time rather than traveling temporarily? Some insurance companies will cover you while you're traveling abroad, but for only a certain period of time. And so if you're going for a quick trip or maybe less than 6 months, you will be fine under their policy. But if you're planning to spend longer than 6 months, maybe longer than a year, they will no longer cover you. And so if you know that you want to be living abroad longer term, or you know you're going to be traveling for more than a year, you definitely want to make sure there is no time limit to their policy. And the last question, which might sound a bit similar to the first one, but I promised is different, is, are there any conditions that would cause you to deny defense or coverage because I am living abroad? Now, the first question is if your policy covers you while you're abroad, but because of the way that insurance policies are written, being covered and them willing to defend you, like for example, pay for a lawyer to defend you against a claim, are two separate things. And so wanting to make sure not only are you covered, but also that if you are living outside the United States, they're also going to pay for legal defense if there's ever a file claimed against you or you're having to respond to some legal issue when it comes to your work with clients. Now, these are the three main questions you are going to want to ask. And if for whatever reason your malpractice insurance says no, or there's some kind of limiting policy or limiting circumstance within the coverage, and you know that you're going to be physically located outside the United States while providing services, I would most definitely transition to a different malpractice insurance. Now, I personally use the Trust, which is a malpractice insurance that I know covers me while I'm abroad. And so if you're looking for a new one, definitely check them out. But I also know there are other companies that do cover you while you're abroad, so you can always shop around. Understanding your malpractice insurance is a big step when it comes to building a private practice that allows you to work abroad. But it is only one piece to a much larger picture. If you want a full system for legal, financial, and online marketing systems that also help you feel emotionally safe while living abroad as a therapist, join my Nomad Practice Accelerator. This is an 8-week group program where I'll be teaching you and other aspiring digital nomad therapists how to build or transition a private practice that actually supports your freedom and you can successfully run from anywhere in the world. But that's all I have for you today. If you found this video helpful, definitely consider hitting like and subscribe for future content all about building a flexible practice, working online as a therapist, and actually building a life that makes you feel good. Leave a comment below if you have any other questions about malpractice insurance or if anything still feels confusing. I might cover it in a future video. And if you're ready for the full step-by-step system for working abroad as a therapist, join the Nomad Practice Accelerator. The link is in the description below. And if you liked this video, I highly recommend you check out this next one.